Hello, everyone. This is Nidal Haykal again with a new episode from my show, Nidal Haykal, live on LinkedIn and YouTube. My special guest for today is a very brilliant and gorgeous lady, live with us today from Beirut, Lebanon. She's a marketing and business development consultant. And my guest name is Nadine Alame. Nadine will be talking a lot about the new approaches of social media and how can companies benefit from this revolutionary state. Let's all welcome Nadine Alame from Beirut, Lebanon.
It's a pleasure to be with you today, and thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. So today, I actually wanted to talk about leadership
N-
and
Nadine,
social media. Yes,
Nadine,
is
how are
there
you
a
doing
technical issue?
today?
I'm doing
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I
Oh,
can see your picture.
all right, all right. Just a second. Sorry. Just a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that.
We
Sorry
have
about the technical issue.
Diana Walsh sending. Hey,
All right. It seems the screen is a bit changing from my side, but it's okay. Let me know if you can see me.
I can see you perfectly. I hear you perfectly.
Okay, that's great. So, what I want to talk about is social media leadership in your organization. A lot of people will say, why are we talking about social media in leadership and employees and so on? Well, the baby boomers, decision makers, which are the baby boomers, didn't think much of social media. They thought, why should I integrate social media? Why should I talk about it? I don't need it. I'll just hire a few people and they can post on my behalf. Right now, everything is changing and we cannot ignore social media right now. So it's very important for each and every individual inside of the organization to be present on social media and start talking. So, how do we start? We start by engaging our employees in social media. What do? We provide training. And it's not just the marketing department. A lot of times we make this mistake and we hire marketing department specialists, people, and we tell them, okay, now you have to post this and that. But each and every individual, even the admin assistant, should be present in social media. This shows your culture and it makes people want to do business more with you. They feel more comfortable doing business with you. So, what we should do, we should provide training, which means we should provide the tools. We should get people, we maybe outsource them or may probably give them training online and teach them the ways on how to do social media. You see, when we post on social media, it's very important to post something that is relevant to people's pain and problems so we can provide solutions and people feel connected to us. People buy you before they buy your product or your service.
Nadine, I didn't get the chance to welcome you when we started. Nadine, welcome to the show. I'm so thankful for your support to be with us today. And أهلا وسهلا. I wish I can speak Filipino too. Nadine speaks three languages, right? Arabic,
Yes,
English, and Filipino.
yes,
Uh, Nadine, I can tell how active you are on social media and how consistent you are, and
yeah.
I think this is the main reason why we can differentiate ourselves on social media, whether for inspiring others or whether for sales and marketing. Nadine, Smallah, God bless you. Look,
Thank you.
we just started a couple minutes. I'm gonna go over and welcome everybody, especially Diana Walsh. Diana, in another, she said another post. She said, "Welcome, Nadini." It's a secret nickname between you two, right? Thank you, Diana, for
Thank you.
showing us. Osama Salim, he was my guest last week.
Mhm.
The amazing and superstar Osama Salim. Thank you again for being with us. Debolina Mandal or Mondal, welcome. Martin Kubotha, He's in the building, as Osama says, too. You are a big celebrity today, Nadine.
Thank you so much. It's such a wonderful welcome. And welcome everyone. It's really a pleasure to be here and for giving me, the platform to talk about something very important that probably a lot of people are not talking about these days. And it's very important that leaders nowadays know how to do things, how to go about on social media.
Osama, last week when he was my guest, all his fans were from the ladies. And look, he's not giving me the chance. He's chasing the ladies on my show. Osama, stop it. Let's see. This new LinkedIn live platform is very buggy. Commenting
Yeah.
and reacting is making this glitchy and tough to interact.
Yes.
Uh, Thank you, Martin. So, Nadine, as you are an expert in marketing and business development, uh, I always ask myself, and this is a big debate on social media, especially on a platform, professional platform like LinkedIn. Are we in the mode of selling something all the time, even if it comes to the personal brand? How do you address the marketing strategies on social media these days? Are we selling something? Everybody is selling something.
What I can see basically trending on social media, everybody's trying to sell something, but we shouldn't be focusing right now on selling something. When I talked about emotional intelligence, it's meaning being aware of the community, especially we are in a very difficult time right now. Despite moving forward, we still have a lot of problems that we need to deal with. So people should probably stop selling because people like to buy, they don't like to be sold. So when you're on social media, you should be more considerate and you should probably not try to sell, but probably
When
solve people's problems.
when you say people likes to buy, not to sell, do you mean like we tend in nature to be consumers more than producers?
Well, what I meant by that is that when you're trying to promote yourself or sell a service or a product, your audience want to feel that they're buying something, but they don't want to feel like you're trying to sell them something. They don't want to be sold. They want to buy something, but they don't want to be sold. We are a consumer society by nature,
Yeah.
but people right now are not looking for products to feel satisfied. They're looking for solution to the problem. A lot of times if you go on the search button, you see people, how do I do this? How do I feel better? How do I go on vacation and feel less stressed? So you should know what people want. Strategy of selling right now is different than before. Before, people will give you a product and there you go, you can buy it. But right now, people want to offer you solutions, especially after COVID-19. It changed the game of marketing. Everything changed. It's not just about selling anymore. It's about solving people's problems and being aware, self-aware, and aware of other people. The most posts that get engagement on social media are those that are stories where you talk about a problem or you talk about relative stories or relevant stories in the community that people can relate to. That's the most that people get attention for. It's not about the product itself. People want to feel recognized, they want to feel valued, they want to feel like someone is listening to them. It's changed. The game of marketing has changed. It's not like before anymore. You just post a product and there it goes. Now it's more about talking to people and listening to people. That is why it's very important to change the marketing strategy right now.
So it's like a new school, to approach the customers, the future customers in a different way. Not we all hate the marketing and the sale process that carries some of annoying. The consistent every time they call you, trying to sell you the same product, no matter what the scale is, if it's a big company, a small company. My question is, so it's like a new mode of selling, and this
Yeah.
comes before this step to hit the right audience, right? To make your
Yes, definitely.
research, to look for the data, and to target the possible customers. That's really an impressive approach for marketing. Nadine, is there a difference between sales and marketing?
There's a big difference between sales and marketing. A lot of people think it's the same thing, but it's not. It's different.
One of
Marketing is,
I
yeah.
always, my first impression is sales means marketing. Marketing means sales. So my wife was correct. It's not the same.
It's absolutely not the same. There's a big difference. Actually, there's no such thing as marketing right now. It's digital marketing. It's literally social media. When back in the day we used to pay a lot of money for billboards and advertisement. Now it's
Yeah.
different. People tell a story now. It's not about the photo with the Guess jeans on the billboard next to the street. It's about people talking, and they get normal people. Everything has changed. There's definitely a big difference. Marketing is actually talking about the product, being close to the people, promoting your product. Sales, okay, that's the sales. It's the sales pitch, and then closing the deal, and so on. It's the process. Okay, it's a process of closing the sales,
Of course.
prospecting, and call. But marketing is very different, and it has a lot of branches. Sometimes people choose to tell stories in order to market their product or their service, and it works fine because you can actually sell through emotions. For example, if you enter into a store, that's the marketing part, and you enter into a suit store, you want to buy a new suit. Okay, if I tell you, for example, here's a new suit, okay, it's really wonderful, it's great, it's $1,000, for example. What if I told you, why don't you try it on and tell me how it feels like when you wear that suit? Okay, that's talking to people's emotions. That's part of marketing, but it has to be honest and credible marketing. People are smart nowadays. They know when you're being honest, when you're giving them a solution, rather than I'm trying to sell you something. People are really different right now. The generation has changed so much.
And I think the competition is severe out there. Like the customer always can find a different resource to get what he's looking for.
Oh yes, definitely. You see, that's the I would say negative part of social media. It's free, right? It's free
Yeah.
advertisement. It's out there, but there's competition. And it's not just like a small trick. You have to learn the strategy. It's SEOs, it's Google Ads, it's this and that. But the main key ingredient for that is knowing your audience. If you spend $1,000 and you don't know who your audience is, you will never reach. That's the key. That's how Google works. So yeah, there's a lot of competition, but if you know your audience very well, if you know your product very well, if you know your service very well, you will not fail.
Nadine, what do you think about what Martin posted? Sales is the process, marketing is the promotion. Love that quote. I love it too. It really sums up the process and the difference between sales and marketing.
Yes, definitely. When you go into a doctor's office, he doesn't automatically just offer you a certain medication. He just tells you, tell me, what are you suffering
Yeah.
from? Oh, I have back pain, I have headaches. Okay, so this is the process is giving you the diagnosis, and selling it to you, and you feel happy. You come back again if he's a good doctor, for example. So, true. It's basically knowing what your customer wants. It's the knowing. A lot of businesses, they start up and they have all these wonderful tools with them, but they're not selling well, and they think it's bad luck. It's just simply you don't know who your audience is. You don't know what your client's pain is. You need to know their pain, their hotkey in order to stand out. So there is definitely a big difference. And yes, marketing is a promotion. I like to call it like the window into a shop, the front window into a shop. It's showing you, giving you a bit of
Showcase,
a
yeah.
window. Yeah, and then when you enter, then the sales process begins, and so on. It just leads there.
Nadine, I can tell you are passionate about this process, marketing and sales. How important to do what we love?
It's definitely very important to do what you love, because if you do what you do with passion, everything will follow, success will follow. If you do something and you don't love what you do, automatically there's like a lifespan that's just going to end. You will feel demotivated, you will feel like you don't want to do it anymore. So it's very, very important. It's like the engine to your Ferrari, how I like to call it.
Yeah. Nadine, in sales, there's something you post about which is called the cold call. Is
Yeah.
this a is this to be honest with you, I wasn't familiar, but the example you posted about it, it was so clear, and I can
Hmm.
relate to it. Is there other mistakes that, uh, let's say, in the process of marketing and sales, like the cold call?
We were talking about cold calling, when you're doing the first step of calling
Yes.
the prospect, you
Okay.
mean?
Yes.
Yes, there is a big mistake. You see, a lot of times when we do cold calling with new prospects, we use the same script for everybody. I always
Yeah.
like to say one size does not fit all. So you can't just pick up the phone and start talking about yourself, your achievements, how long have you been in the business. You need to start a conversation. See, I've gotten a lot of actually cold call emails, and
Yes.
they're all the same. I'm pretty much, they've copy pasted it for everybody. See, and this is one big mistake. What you need to do is you need to know this person. You need to get in touch with them, build relation with them, get to know what they're looking for. And it will all just lead into that. But when you're just putting one size fits all for everybody without any customization, that's when you do a mistake.
And it's not gonna generate any sales, right?
Oh, absolutely not. If, for example, if I enter into a shop and somebody at the front store tells me, "Oh, there's this wonderful perfume. It smells like Oriental scent," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "I don't like Oriental. I'm allergic to the smell." All right, so she should start a conversation with me. She should spark a conversation with me, and that's how she gets the sales done.
Wow. It's a very simple example, but it holds a lot of meanings. Thank you, Nadine.
Thank you
Nadine,
so much.
you mentioned something about the companies and how it's a one script that they try to sell it or market it to everybody. Uh, let's say if an employee wants to go above and beyond, and this employee want to change this script and goes on his own or her own in marketing the product of a company, if
Mhm.
there is a disagreement from the above leadership, let's say supervisor, about this approach, how can an employee go above and beyond, and there is a borders from the let's say top barrier, which is the leadership?
Yes. One approach, I would do an exhibit A and exhibit B. I would show him his script or the company script that everybody uses in the department or organization, and then I show him my script. And I show him on the screen, can you read this and read that? Tell me which one you think is better. I will, of course, explain to him why this probably will lead to results and why this one will probably not lead to results. So it's like when you go to a shop again, there's this computer and this computer brand, like X computer, Y computer. What does a salesperson do? He tells him, okay, this one has these features, it has these speed, the memory, and this one has this and this and that. And that gives you a better image and a better comparison. So I can make him visualize, and then this will
What's the
lead to a better
difference?
conversation. You see, so if I just say, oh no, I think this is better, let's use this script, my manager will say, no, no, no. How would you assure it? So what would I do? I would explain to him why this could work and why this couldn't work. So when you give explanation and you give him proof, then this will lead into better results. Okay, of course, this comes into the flexibility of the management team as well.
Yeah. And how trained they are, right, for such situation?
Definitely, yes, leadership is something very important. Trained leadership is very important. You have to never stop learning. A lot of managers, they will stop learning. No, you have to see what's going on. How do you talk to a new generation? For example, in the next few years, the millennials will take over decision making. So how are you going to address them? So millennials look for work-life balance. They look for flexible hours. They look for better payment. They look for freedom. So you have to change a bit of your strategy, and you have to be flexible, and you have to be agile and so on, so you can be able to adapt to the change in the new generation and to be able to communicate with them. It's really different, generation to generation, decision making and so on. A study has showed that Gen Z, the next generation, 80% of them are going to be entrepreneurs. So how are you going to deal with that? So it's very important to keep on working on yourself, improving yourself, and try to keep update, because if you're still going to be there, everybody's going to run, they're going to go, and you're going to be there, and you're going to be stuck there, and you're going to be too late if you want to catch up.
Yeah, it's always important to adapt to the new practices, especially in the business world.
Yeah.
As you see, Nadine, Osama is saying, sales is like opening the door for the people, and marketing is like socializing with people. I love this figure.
Definitely, definitely. You see, there was an ad for Dove. It was very famous, and it made such a big noise in the U.S. And it talked about inner beauty because Dove was focusing on natural beauty, and they showed a sketch of a lady who was on the billboard, but she went through a lot of Photoshop. So it was just a minute video, but a lot of people related to that because it spoke to the emotions of people and it related to their problems and spoke to people's insecurities. That's the smart way of marketing. It's not just about the perfect shape of, I don't know, of water bottle or a perfect shape of football, etc. It's about talking to people's emotions. People will not care how your product looks like. What they care about, what do you offer them? What's the added value? And then the sales process is there. Once you do the marketing, you can do the sales much easier. You have to do the marketing well in order for the sales process to work.
Nadine, how we can get benefit from emotional intelligence in all this process, whether it's sales or marketing?
Oh, definitely. Emotional intelligence is not just about leadership. It's about all spectrums.
This is your
When
dog
it
is
comes,
barking?
oh, that's our neighbor's dog.
Oh,
I have a golden retriever. His bark is way bigger than,
oh,
than that bark. Yes, I love animals.
I, I, wa-
So
I was
yeah,
talking the other day to your brother Ziad. I want to say hi to
yeah.
him. And his dog show up, and I thought, it was lovely. To be honest with you, I'm scared from dogs. I don't know. I have a phobia, but I always tell my kids I'm allergic to that. It's not a state of fear.
Well, once you meet the dog and you break that fear, then it just goes on, just goes away. Especially if there's a golden retriever, a very friendly breed. So
So,
yeah,
yeah,
about
we were
yeah.
talking about the emotional intelligence, how we can benefit from that in the leadership world, and organizations can elevate.
All right, so emotional intelligence, as you know it, the pillars of emotional intelligence is self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, and empathy, and social skills. All right, so a lot of times, I follow a lot of people on LinkedIn, especially LinkedIn, and there are some posts where I don't feel like I want to engage with them, whereas there are posts that if I don't put a comment or a like on this person's post, I feel like something's missing, you know? And
Yeah.
what's the secret? What's the secret ingredient? It's being self-aware of what you're talking about. Before you post anything, you have to be considerate. Am I going to bother somebody when I post this comment? Is it going to offend certain people? That's what you have to do. You have to also have empathy with the community. This happened a lot through COVID-19. Okay, throughout the yeah.
This is Nadine. You are talking from the whoever is posting, right? Not the audience. Like if I'm
Yes,
in
that's
the post. Oh, okay.
yeah, from the poster point of view.
Yeah.
So how do you go about it? How it's about all about engagement, and engagement is all about self-awareness, social skills, being empathetic to people. All right. So you have to, first of all, you have to give attention. Okay. So when you're doing a post, you're posting any image, you're writing a story, you have to give attention to your audience. A lot of times, people will post something, and then on the comment section, when people comment something, they would never reply. And this is a mistake. So when you leave a comment there, when somebody leaves a comment there, you have to reply to this comment because that will make them come back for more, and they will
And
feel like, yeah,
this is gonna enrich the engagement part of your post.
exactly. Exactly. So if I find that the post that you have posted is relevant and it's very nice post actually, I will post something there. But you don't just leave me there, reply back to me. Make me feel like you've read my comment the same way I've read your comment, your post. Right?
And you appreciate it, yeah.
Yes, definitely. The second thing is you have to build relationships. Right? So for example, I post regularly. So if you're a person who follows me and you've posted something today and then I posted something tomorrow and you commented on the new post, I have to talk to you in a way that I've seen your post yesterday. Oh, you're back. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for always commenting. You feel like you're valued and you're recognized and people acknowledge you because humans are social creatures. I mean, we have emotions and feelings. That's our driver, you know? So you have to always build this kind of relationship. And you have to give attention, always give attention, always be there, right? You might want to private message them as well, right? If somebody posts, oh, I'm having a bad day, thank you for sharing this, you might want to drop a private message, are you doing well? All right. This is how people feel connected to you, okay? So you have to, of course, as I said, you have to be empathetic. So it's a personal skill. I never say emotional intelligence is a soft skill. I say it's a human skill. It's a human being skill. And just because social media is, oh, you think it's just for children, no, you have to be engaged there. It's such a powerful platform to build empathy, to build self-awareness, awareness of others. You actually, it's contagious. Emotional intelligence is contagious.
Contagious, yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh,
So
Not to interrupt you, but yes, Martin, I agree with you. Nadine is amazing. Thank you.
thank you
Uh,
so much. I appreciate it.
Nadine, you are active and consistent on social media, and that's
Yeah.
how we connected at the first place. Is there any power for the social media in organizations today? Do you think the organizations are aware of the role of social media? Let's say, and you can tell the big names, big companies that run operations all over the world, they are on social media and they promote their products. I don't know if just reserving this spot because it's gonna be bigger the for the next generations, or it's essential now for the organizations to be on social media. This pivot in business approach, because as you can see, Nadine, now
Yeah.
everything can be done via your laptop or your phone. You can buy, you can sell, you can interact, you can promote, you can study.
Yeah.
Everything basically is on the phone. Do you think organizations are aware of this importance? And you, as a social, um consistent and active, how do you react with this revolutionary social media? I know you talked first about
Yeah.
social media and the importance of it, but what's your hopes? How the organizations for the future is going to be within the social media?
Absolutely. You see, I always do a comparison before and after COVID-19. Before COVID-19, there were people on social media, but it was okay, we're on social media, it's not that important. After COVID-19, everybody needed to be in social media because everybody's online. 90% of audiences are online, starting age 6 till you're 80,
Exactly.
even more. Yeah. So it's no more a choice. It's not luxury anymore. It's a need. When you're on social media, it means you exist. When you're off social media, nobody knows who you are. You see, when I'm doing business with somebody, the first thing I do, I check out their Instagram page or Facebook. For example, when I'm checking a new restaurant, I have to go to their social media. It's something intrinsic. It's not something that I plan about. So it's very important. You see, if you're not on social media, you're not in business. If you're not online, you're out of
Yeah.
business,
Yeah.
you see. So long ago, what worked long ago doesn't work now anymore. Long ago, you used to do cold calling. 90% was cold calling. We didn't care much about social media. But if you're not following up, you will be left behind, and you definitely don't want to be left behind. So how do I deal with that? I recently got certified as advanced digital marketing, and I didn't realize its importance until I started getting the course. And I started monitoring people around, organizations, communities. There are organizations that caught my attention and I learned a lot from them, and there are those that are a bit shy and just don't know how to go about it. My advice for every organization is get an expert to talk about social media and its importance and get your team engaged. If one big mistake is not getting your team engaged on social media and giving them the tools for that. So one of the biggest things that I do every day, I constantly engage with people posting. And it's not a war. You know, you have to support each other. It's different. Business now is different. You have to support even those who are your competitors. Just drop a comment. There's a chance somebody's going to see that and they're going to like your approach. See, it has become something very broad and very specific, and it actually exploded a lot of niche for that. So that's how I go about it. Just keep up to date and always post. Never stop posting. You can't just go, oh, I'll just stop posting for a week. You can't take a vacation for a week. You have to always be engaging. Even when it's on, during your weekends, just drop a comment, drop a message, just to remind people that you're there.
Do you think we all need at a certain point to get let's say educated about social media, how to post, how to get engaged, or it depends what role we want from social media? I think
Definitely.
it doesn't harm to get educated about social media, because everything on social media now.
Of course, part of being a leader and building leaders in your organization is learning. Never stop learning. There's a very nice story about I think it was a Chinese teacher that was teaching his student, and he gave him a glass of water, okay, and he told him fill it up. He filled it up, all right, and he said keep on filling it up, filling it up. Why am I filling it up? You see, when you fill up a cup, what happens, and you never stop pouring, it just flows,
So
right? It
yeah,
pours all around. But what you have to do is you have to empty your cup. If you empty your cup, then there's room to learn. One of the biggest hurdles or obstacles of leaders today, oh, I know everything. Why should I? I've been in the business for 40 years. Why should I learn? No, you should learn new skills. No matter how old you get, you should keep on learning because business is changing. So it's very, very important not just to teach yourself, be a student, even if you own the company. As a CEO, you have to be a student first before becoming a teacher. When you become a student, that's how you become a teacher, and that's how you build teachers in your organization. So it's very important to learn, get experts into your organization, give them social media training, talk about SEOs, about Google, about ads, everything. Give them the know-how. When you train your employees, they get engaged with you as well. And they offer better productivity, of course.
wow, I love the story, Nadine. It sums a lot. I really appreciate you sharing it.
Thank you.
Nadine, why you are on social media personally?
Yes. Well, I wasn't one of those that like to post myself on social media. I personally love it for business. And that's why I love LinkedIn. Whenever I want to run away, I go to LinkedIn. I run away from Facebook and Instagram, I go to LinkedIn. I loved social media because of the ideas that I get to see, because of the stories that I get to see. What really inspired me? There was one person who posted about don't be afraid of failure because failure is part of success, and he posted his story.
Yeah,
And I felt really connected. Why? Because a lot of times social media does not give you the real image. A lot of people think it's a perfect image. But
it's
when
a fake.
somebody
Yeah,
tells you it's a fake image, but when somebody tells you, I failed 5 times, when I was 31, I had my first job. A lot of people had it before me. I built my company way too late. You feel very inspired. And that's why I'm on LinkedIn. I feel really inspired with other people's stories, and I feel I can do it. People need a little bit of push, basically. That was really one of my main things, because when I first started on LinkedIn, I just left it there. I didn't mind it. I didn't have followers. On 2019 till now, I now have 4,500 something followers. I just built a community. You have to build a community.
And to build this community, as you said, authenticity is a major stone to build this audience. As you said, because there's a lot of noise out there, and there is
Yeah.
a lot of let's say time wasting when
Yes.
something is so touchy, is so real, is so inspiring. You just wanna grab something from this piece and relate it to your own story, and you'll never know, you might get inspired to inspire others. You are totally
Absolutely.
right. You are totally right, Nadine. Nadine, what's the uh, emotional intelligence in post engagement? There is the start, stop, continue method. Can you tell us about it, and tell us how we can relate it to organizations' approaches
I mean, by using emotional intelligence on social media.
on social media? Yes.
Yes, emotional intelligence is something. It's not a luxury. It's not an option anymore. It's a need. See, what happens is that if I'm an employee, I'll just give another example. If I'm an employee in a cargo company, for example, so I'm the person that gets the cargo in and out. So probably my manager is not going to give me that much of attention, right? I'm a frontliner. He's not going to give me much attention.
Is
However,
this
if I'm just sitting,
uh,
yeah,
do you think this is from a lack of management, or it's how things usually administrated?
a lot of people think it's a lack of organizational management, but it's more of an emotional intelligence. You see, the reason why employees probably don't feel that they're being heard is because there's a lack of emotional intelligence. You see,
Wow.
the moment a manager, CEO steps into a building, if he doesn't say hello to the janitor, he's not being aware of the environment or the atmosphere around him. It should start there. When you start there, you're talking to everybody. So if I'm on social media and I'm a person who works at the frontliner, and I see such a post, somebody talking to me directly, I just feel connected. I just feel somebody's heard me. But if I'm there and nobody's talking to me or talking about my problems, then I'm gone. So if you're a CEO, a manager, a business developer, and you want to engage emotional intelligence with people, with anybody in the organization, start talking to everybody. Okay. For example, the lady who cleans the office and who does coffee and so on. This is very common in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about her. But if she doesn't come into the office tomorrow, can you imagine what happens in the office?
I remember President Obama one time he posted. He's asking. He was visiting, I think, NASA center, and
Yeah,
he was passing by one of the workers, and he asked him,
yeah,
the cleaning workers, and he asked him, "What do you do here?" He said, "I'm helping building a rocket."
yeah,
So it also comes to the personal approach what you are doing. Like, yeah, you can go to the extreme with what you are doing, no matter what you are doing. There's no difference between a brain surgeon and let's say a janitor. It doesn't matter. But if you are really into what you are doing, you can feel like you are owning the whole world and you are contributing. It doesn't have to be the same contribution, but I think it's a good approach to love what we are
absolutely,
doing. Yeah. um
absolutely. Yeah, that's what I meant about being emotionally intelligent on social media. In Lebanon, there was a topic about domestic violence, and nobody was talking about it. So there was a lady, it was probably 3 years ago. I probably don't remember her name, but I remember what she said. She started sharing a story. Nobody was talking about that. Everybody was busy with their own problems. It was just a group of people that nobody looked at. Okay,
About
so
the domestic violence.
yeah,
Oh,
because it's the society and stigma and
yeah.
so on. So there's a lady who's talked about it. Okay, when she started talking about it, she started talking about addressing her emotions of people around her, of friends and family that went through that. This post was shared with thousands and thousands of people. Why? Because it included self-awareness, included awareness of the environment, people around you, understanding emotions, understanding feelings. That's the importance and the impact of emotional intelligence on social media and on the community.
It was touchy, and it unleashed something very important in the society. You are totally right,
Yeah,
Nadine. Nadine, what's your future project in on social media? Uh, One like you always surprises us with creativity, and I love the way you interact with others on social media, and definitely you are successful in what you do.
thank
So,
you.
what what's your next step, Nadine, on social media? And by the way, what platforms you are? Let's promote. If I, like for me, I'm only on LinkedIn
Yeah.
and YouTube. What platforms you are on? If anybody wants to follow you, subscribe to your channels, if any.
Sure. I'm available on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I'll share it with you later as well. And well, Instagram, but I'm mostly active on LinkedIn. Right.
And Nadine, you will keep inspiring us with your posts.
Sure, of course, every day. You see, my next step about all that is that I've always been interested in creative marketing. There's something called guerrilla
Wow,
marketing. Not
that
a lot of people heard
that
about that.
that's a new term, creative marketing. What's a creative marketing?
Yes. When I was back in college, there was a professor who talked about guerrilla marketing, and it's an exaggerated way of doing marketing, but it sends out a big image. You see, for example, there was an ad. It was like a cab that was painted on the road, and there were people walking on the road, of course. But if you just magnify it, if you just take an image from the top,
Hmm.
they look like ants. It was an advertisement for pesticides.
Wow.
but but what's the image here is just how much you can touch people. That's what I want to do. That's my next project. How I can use creative marketing to touch people, to make them feel like they're heard, to influence them. It's all about emotions. I want to talk to people's emotions through marketing.
Nadine, you posted something about our brain is like a
Yeah.
muscle,
Yes.
and the more we exercise it, the more it expands and gets stronger.
Yes.
I love this quote. And is it true, Nadine, that the minute we stop, you, I don't want to say use our brain, we use it all the time, but from keep learning approach, it's a killing point, even on a personal level or organizational level or leadership. So, how do you address how important it is to keep learning? I know you mention it a lot, but
Yes.
what Nadine do to keep learning?
All right. So, food for the brain is reading, training, just like when you go to the gym. If, for example, I registered for the gym today,
Uh-huh.
okay? In a week, I'll probably build some muscle, lose some weight, and then I decide to stop. What's going to happen? I'm going to lose everything, as if I never went.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
when it comes to the brain, what's food for the brain? It's reading, it's watching documentaries, looking at your competitors, blogs, everything. It's feeding your brain constantly. You don't want to, of course, pressure yourself, but you have
Yeah.
to always know what's going on. What I would address people to do is every once in a while, just read a small article. Just learn a bit about the world. What's going on? You get the notifications on Google or Facebook. Just open them and read. It can actually give you a new perspective. When you stop reading, when you stop learning, your brain stops. Your brain is hungry for thought. And when you
Yeah,
don't feed your brain, yeah, it turns against you actually.
and I think this is why like I can tell from my kids the information they have. It's sometimes I don't have it because they are exposed more now to a lot of information.
Absolutely. You see, the new generation, I'm not talking about millennials, I'm talking about the Gen Z and so on. The new generation, what's positive about them, they're multitaskers. They can handle a lot of, they can receive a lot of information from different devices. But there's just a bit of a problem. You see, when you receive a lot of information from different devices, your attention span really becomes lower. You see, in
Mhm.
the olden days, what did we have? We had the TV. We called it the idiot box because you sit there, it talks to you, and you
Yeah.
don't talk back, right? So it was okay. Okay, the show ends. I'm gonna go back to sleep right now. You don't have to go through your phone and get all this information. So your attention span is a lot longer and your patience is a lot longer. The younger generation, the only thing I feel a bit stressed about is their attention span. It's really short. They can't read more than 3, 4 lines on social media. And then
Mhm.
they don't feel like they want to read an entire article. So it's very important for parents to encourage reading. It's really important. Actually, you can tell the difference. Once you've finished reading an article, you just feel, oh, I have new ideas. I feel like Superman. So what if you did that on a daily basis? You see, it builds. It's just a muscle. It's just keep on building and building. Just probably the only thing that I would be worried about the younger generation.
Nadine, how vulnerable are you? Do you admit your vulnerability? Do you share it on social media?
Yes, you see, I want to talk about this actually. A lot of times people will share their success, but they will never share their failure.
Those,
And if you share only your success, you give the wrong image. You make people feel like they're not good enough, right?
we are,
But when
we
you
are, we
say,
are not we are not super creators. We have our good moments
yeah,
and we have our bad
yeah,
ones. So
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, if I, for example, I built a wonderful organization, I make a lot of money and so on, and then I go on social media and I say, you know what? I have suffered a lot and I failed a lot. I tried this and that. I failed. I got rejected. I fell and people never liked my product. They blocked me on social media, but here I am today. That's authenticity. That's being honest. You can't just talk about your achievements all the time. You have to talk about your failures as well. So you have to be genuine because you see, I always say there's no such thing as failure. Failure is just an attempt that gets you closer to your dream.
your
A lot
dream.
of people will say, yeah, oh, I tried to be an actor, it didn't work. I tried to be an engineer, it didn't work. I failed. No, you just it didn't work for you, and something better is waiting for you. You're lucky actually if you failed. If you didn't fail, you're never gonna succeed actually.
And it's a space to learn because sometimes
Yes,
failure, as you said, it could be a bad choice, or it could be something wrong going led to the failure. It's good to stop, think,
yeah,
analyze, and keep moving. Nadine, Nadine, how's your relationship with the entrepreneurship world?
I've always
I can see it. I can see it and feel it in your tone. So tell us, what does it mean to you?
yeah. When I first got started into the organization, I was given an assessment, and one of the interests showed I had an entrepreneur interest. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Of course, you will ask me, it's freedom. It's not just financial freedom, it's freedom because I'm a millennial and I want to spend as much time as I can with people I love and care about and so on. Entrepreneur is very important to be an entrepreneur. It's not just about making money, it's about making a difference. If you cannot make
Wow,
a difference, then you're not
I
an entrepreneur.
I I love that. I love that.
Of course, you see, don't think about money when you're starting. Think about what you're offering. What's the difference? A lot of people will tell me when I started my business, I gave all my services for free. It's because I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You see, it's not, you have to give value before you ask for it. You have to offer value, you see. And then passion first, then money will follow. But if you think money first, then it will not, you will not probably succeed. You will not be happy. You'll be miserable.
How's your relationship with money?
How's my relationship with money? Well, we need money,
Yeah,
but it's not really of course, it's a goal, but it's not one of the priority. My priority is to build trust. If I want to build my own personal brand, I prefer to build trust, integrity, and then money. Money is
money.
very important. Yes. And I always look at money as a way to grow my business, not something to be boastful of. I always have to be humble. So it's a way to grow my business more and more and deliver my trust with people. Trust is very important, way more than money. Money comes and goes. Trust, once you lose it, it's gone.
It's gone exactly.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Martin. Thank you for the engagement. I love every single comment. And I don't know, he mentioned something about connecting with you, Nadine. Please, everybody, feel free to connect with Nadine. I'm right.
Your voice is a bit lagging. If you can just repeat what you said.
I said I'm talking to Martin. We didn't stop by every comment he was, but I was broadcasting them. Thank you for the engagement. Thank you, Dibolina. And Nadine, she will post your social media accounts where everybody can connect with Nadine. Nadine, I didn't ask you when we start the live. We are almost hitting the hour. I really appreciate your time and your being
Yes.
with us. You are a nice, ambitious lady. And I learned a lot from you today, and definitely the audience. Nadine, what's the most favorite quote? Would you like to share it with us today?
One of the quotes that I love is that by she said it's about emotional intelligence, and she said, "People will forget what you said, but they will never forget how you made them feel."
I love
Okay,
this one too. Yeah.
really, it's. I will just. Can I just share a small story? When I first started my working, I was 18. I worked at Pinkberry. That was my first job.
Mhm.
And when I was just starting, I was very excited. There was a person that came in and gave me a card that said very wonderful words about me and gave it to the manager. I bet you I cannot remember what he said. I really cannot remember not a single word, but all I remember, I still remember him up to this day. I remember how he made me feel, and he made me feel valued and respected. It's just how you influence people. That's very important. You make a lot of difference with that.
Nadine, I can't thank you enough for all the wisdom and the inspiring words you bring today. I really appreciated your time with us and
Thank
wish you
you.
all the best. And mark on my word, you have a very promising future. And I'm a big fan of all your posts. Sometimes, I don't know. I couldn't understand the algorithm of LinkedIn so far. Sometimes I get
Yeah.
notifications for the posts for the people I follow, and sometimes I have to go to their like I didn't see a post from Nadine a long time, so I have to go to the profile and then see like there was a post 6 hours ago, and um, it's something I don't understand, but I'm trying to learn. I always put myself in a student mode. Nadine,
Definitely.
Nadine, it's all yours. If you wanna say something by the end of this live, I really appreciate you and all the wisdom you bring today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to talk live with you. It's such a pleasure, and all the respect for you and your approach. And I think you're somebody with a very high emotional intelligence. So being in the field, I can definitely tell that.
Tell this
And
to my
you as
wife.
well. I pretty much enjoy also reading your podcast and everything. You're just somebody who's present as well, and thank you for everybody who had been listening to me today. And I feel really blessed being on this platform with you. Thank you so much.
Nadine Alame, the marketing and business development consultant, and the gorgeous lady, and the
Thank you so much.
clear visioner. Um, I wish you all the best, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank
Stay
you
safe,
so much.
and hopefully, we're gonna see you soon in the future with another episode.
Definitely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Have a nice day. Thank you so much. You too. Bye bye.
Thank you, everybody, for watching episode 13 of season 2 of Nidal Haykal Live. My guest, the amazing Nadine Alame. I learned a lot from her, and she's a very leadership vision wise lady. She brings a lot of wisdom and inspiring words today. Please feel free to connect with Nadine Alame. She's on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Thank you, everybody, for being with us today. I wish everybody a joyful weekend, and we'll see you next week with a new guest. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Nadine Alame, and this was Nidal Haykal with